Peace and blessings coming to you live. Peace and more peace to everybody worldwide. My name is Anthony Calori, coming to you from North Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm grateful that we are all here together. It's a good day, a blessed day. It is July 2nd, 2024, and we've all made it. Well, not all of us, some of us didn't make it, but to everyone who did make it to today, count your blessings. But I hope all is well with everybody worldwide. I appreciate everyone tuning in, subscribing, and getting with the channel. We're just going to keep on pushing, keep on growing, and I thank you. Things haven't been easy. A lot going on in the world, a lot going on inside all of us and outside all of us. A lot of distractions out there. A lot of shit, So I hope everybody just hangs tight, stays focused, and keeps that tunnel vision mentality on the things that they love to do, their craft, their loved ones, and things that are going to make their life feel meaningful and purposeful, and all the other fools that are good. Got to stay focused, man. That's really, what it all comes down to at the end of the day. You got to stay focused, stay disciplined, and have a nice structured life and schedule for yourself that you stick to, because you know it's going to bring the best out of you. And it's what you want to do. It's easy to get comfortable and lazy and death scroll on the phone and really just forget that time is fleeting and life isn't as it's not as long as it feels like. I'm 32, which is young, but nothing is promised. Both my grandfathers passed, and I think one of them passed at 80, the other one in his late 70s. And so I'm approaching what is half of my life, God willing, if I make it that long. And so a lot of what I think about is, well, what do I want this second half of my life to look like? And am I doing things that are going to make it so I live to at least 70, 75, 80 years old? Am I taking care of myself? Or am I stressing myself to death and setting myself up for failure by not sticking to the script and the plan that I've set out for myself? Am I living within my purpose? Am I underachieving? Am I doing things unconsciously, and is my life just passing me by? So I would like to avoid that as much as possible and live as much of a purpose-driven life as I possibly can. And it's easy also to think that you're not supposed to just work and pay bills and eat and sleep and shit and go to work and all that stuff. But you have to establish what it is that you're doing all that for. I mean, obviously, eating, sleeping, and shitting is something that you're going to do whether you like it or not. But as far as how you have to provide for yourself, for your family, and the means that and opportunities that are available for you to do that, it's important to know why when you show up to a place that you don't necessarily want to be at or would love to be at, but there has to be some kind of greater purpose that it's serving you. And you have to remind yourself of that constantly. Otherwise, you're going to do what I've done in the past, which is just walk out of a place and tell yourself, I'm not ever coming back here and I'm going to figure it out. But what that ended up doing was making things harder on the people around me because I would end up needing their help, or I get behind on bills, or whatever the case may be. And so without an actual plan or things in place for you to transition to, um, things really get messy, and it makes your life harder because you're acting out of an emotional place that ends up just making you more stressed and more frustrated and unsure of yourself because you didn't necessarily have a plan. And so I've been having those moments a lot, being at work and just wanting to say, man, fuck this. I ain't coming back. I'm leaving. This is bullshit. I deserve better than this. My boss is a prick. My coworkers are fucking idiots and all that stuff. But really, I'm just trying to make it. Telling myself a story in my head that really is dramatizing the situation and heightening my stress and my frustration, so much so that I push myself to a breaking point that doesn't quite exist yet. And sometimes that is a reality, but you have to be honest with yourself, um, and be able to recognize, is this something that I'm creating or is it my reality? And it can be a little both at times, and it's hard to decipher which is which. And there is a bit of a paralysis feeling when you're in that situation because you don't want to be there, and you have things that you want to do, other ventures you want to pursue. You want to invest all your time into your craft, or whatever career you truly want to do for the rest of your life, or whatever the case may be, or just next. But you just can't quite do it yet because it's not time to do it. Or you have so much on your plate financially that it would be detrimental for you to leave your current situation because you just don't have things in place in order for you to, transition out of it, like I said before. So you got to really take time and figure out what it is you're going to do. Come up with a strategic plan and be disciplined with your time before you cut off one thing and transition to another thing. And if you think you're going to do that all of a sudden, if you're not already doing it, if you're not disciplined with your time, you're not working hard, you're not putting hours into your craft outside of your day job, so to speak, it's probably not going to happen as quick as you think it will. Not that it needs to happen quick, but you do have to have those things in place. And that's just what it is. And so at the end of the day, don't push yourself to an edge that nothing else is pushing you toward. And if you want to say, hey, I'm done with this, I'm going to pursue this goal and try to achieve this version of success that fits my purpose and will bring me joy and will make me just overall happy to wake up and get to it and get to work, then by all means do it. But don't kid yourself and don't demonize the people that you're currently working with or your boss or your job and say these people ain't shit and fuck them and fuck this job and the world is a lie and everything's a lie and things are, you're just playing yourself at the end of the day and looking for an excuse when at the end of the day it should be a positive and happy thing that you do where it's like, man, I've exhausted my time here at this place and I'm ready to move on to the next thing and I'm happy to do it. It should be desperate. You should be desperate to go to the next chapter of your life, but it should be a good thing. Uh, yeah, not everything needs to be done with anxiety and frustration and depression and all that stuff. So if you are working your day job and you have something that you want to do instead of what you're doing now, just try to have as positive of an attitude as possible and convince yourself or be honest with yourself and say that this is a means to an end. I'm going to make the best of it. I'm grateful for what it's doing and how I'm able to provide for myself and my family. I'm grateful for the means that it's giving me. And when I'm ready to make a change, I'm going to make that change. I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm going to be honest and real with myself about that. And I'm going to put in the work and the time. And then just do it. And if you're in a real bad situation, get the fuck out of there and find a better situation. But don't put yourself in a bad spot or other people in a bad spot because you're being emotional and kind of selfish. You don't have to lie to yourself. It's not as bad as you think it is. If you've seen what it's like for other people around the world and what it is they have to do to survive or put food on the table or get clean water and stuff like that, what we are facing here is kind of a joke compared to that. Not to minimize people's struggles, because everyone goes through it and has things externally or internally that they're dealing with that are very serious and very stressful, and they don't have a lot of resources or help. But if you're not one of those people and you're just being emotional about shit and all that stuff, it's just not that bad. Don't be discouraged and don't discourage yourself. It's different if someone is telling you that you're a fucking idiot and you'll never be able to do it. But if that's just the voice inside your head, you gotta retrain your brain a little bit and tell yourself some positive shit and write down your goals and write down some nice things that you would say to yourself or that you would say to your friend. A lot of us have a hard time taking our own advice or being as encouraging as we would be to a friend or a family member to ourselves, and it really does make a hell of a difference. And so, be encouraged. Encourage yourself, just like you would encourage anybody else, and don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't throw away a good thing if it is a good thing. If it's not, move on to the next thing. But eventually, we're gonna have to learn to enjoy this life. And there's always going to be ups and downs. There's always going to be challenges. And those things always just reveal who we really are and show us where we have room to improve. And so accept those healthy challenges and separate yourself from anything that's not good for you or not working for you. But at the end of the day, you got to take care of yourself. You got to pay your bills. You need food. You need shelter. You got to take care of your girl or your, whatever. You just got to pay your way and be self-sufficient in this world. And if you can do that through the thing that you love to do or your career of choice, then do it. But it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows, as they say. A lot of people who open up businesses don't make any real money for the first, they say, 5 years or something like that. They're really just trying to get back to zero. So look at it like that. If you're willing to invest everything into something that you truly want to do, give it about 5 years. And if you're okay with not being rich and famous and the most important person on the world, then by all means. And one of my favorite quotes is, or I don't know if it's a quote, but stories is Dave Chappelle talking to his dad about wanting to be a comedian at as a teenager. His dad said, there's no money in that, and it's gonna be hard to take care of yourself. And I don't know, he's just kind of questioning his son's. Chappelle's dad is questioning if he's making the right decision to be a comedian. And his dad said, or Chappelle said, well, if I can make as much money as you as a teacher, because his father was a teacher, if I can make as much money as you doing comedy, then that's making it. And so I look at it like that as well. If you can do whatever money you're making right now that's stopping you from quitting it because you just can't, you have too many obligations, if you can substitute what you're doing to make that money with the career that you want to do, within whatever amount of time, then you made it, you did it, so if you're making $2,000 a month, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, and if you can transition into your career, your true career choice, and just make that amount of money. I know everybody has hoop dreams and wants to make, $250,000 a year doing the thing that they love to do, but you have to start somewhere. And so a lot of times you're going to have to do that on the side, say you're making $3,000 a month at your job. Well, in your spare time, you have to go out and do that other thing that you love to do and figure out how you can make $500 a month. All right, well, now that $500 is kind of taken away, even though it's adding to, it's taking away as you're transitioning into the other thing from that $3,000. Okay, I'm making $500 a month, and now this $2,500 that, you start to take away from this and add to this, and it starts to change hands in a sense. Okay, now I'm making $1,000 a month. I'm a third of the way there. $1,500 a month. Okay, I'm halfway there. You kind of look at it like that, and I think once you get about halfway, you're probably doing something right, and you can say, all right, I'm going to do this thing full time. So, and sometimes you just got to say, fuck it, I'm going all in, and I'm going to struggle and eat rice and beans for the next 6 months and probably break up with my girl because she doesn't want to go through this with me or whatever. But if you got you a solid partner, she'll probably go through that fire with you and be in the trenches with you and work it out. But you got to be serious about what you're doing, man. Very, very serious. And you can't rap. You cannot rap. This does not apply to anybody that wants to rap. Period. So if you want to be a musician, cool. You want to be an artist, cool. You want to be a teacher, cool. Real estate, cool. Something in tech, cool. But if you want to rap, this message does not apply to you. There's no money in that. You're going to be broke. Your girl's going to leave you. Nah. So anyway. So yeah. Stay in your purpose. Don't give up. Be encouraged. Encourage yourself. Give people some grace. Stop demonizing everybody and belittling everyone in your mind and thinking that you're better than them because you have all these goals and dreams and ideas and plans and all that stuff. So does everybody. They're not in your head just like you're not in their head. So none of us know what the next person's true goals and passions and what their purpose is or whatever it is that they're defining as their purpose as. And everyone's on a different, we're all getting to the same place at different times. And so be easy on yourself, be easy on people. Don't take this shit too seriously, but just do the work. I'm not a smart man. All I know is that if I do something a lot, all the time, I will get good at it. And I think that's all the information anybody needs to know. I'm definitely not a genius, but I know that if I spend hours, hundreds and thousands of hours doing a thing, I'm going to get good. I'm going to get pretty damn good at it. So whatever it is that you want to do, spend hundreds, thousands of hours doing it, and figure out how to put some money in your pocket as a result of getting good at that thing. And that's all there is to it.